Good afternoon, everyone. I'd like to welcome you to the Fairfield County Council meeting on this day, Monday, June the 8th, 2026. At this time, if you would please, let's stand and pledge allegiance to the flag.
Pledge
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Now, may I get a motion for the approval of the agenda? Been motioned and second that we approve the agenda. If there's no questions, are you prepared to vote? All in favor, say aye. Aye. Let the record show 6-0. Before we move forward with the invocation, Mr. Roof is not here. His wife had a medical emergency this afternoon, so he's not going to be here tonight. Now we have invocation by Councilwoman Peggy Swearinger.
Let us pray. Our most gracious Heavenly Father, we thank you for this beautiful day that you have given us to enjoy. Thank you for safe travels here, and we ask that we all have safe travels home. Please be with this county council as we try to make decisions that will have a positive effect on our county. We love you, Lord, and we thank you for loving us. We ask these things in your precious name, Lord. Amen.
Thank you, Ms. Swearinger. Now we get the approval of the minutes for regular meeting 5/11/26, budget workshop 1/5/7/26, budget workshops session 2 5/18/26. May I get a motion on those? Second. The motion is second that we approve the minutes of the meetings. If there's no questions, prepare to vote. All in favor? Aye. Let the record show 6-0. Now we're down to public presentation, proclamation recognizing June as Fatherhood Month. Dr. Roberts.
Thank you, Mr. Chair, members of council. I do not see the representative for the Fatherhood Month proclamation. I don't know if you want to hold off for this. Wait. Just go to the second one. Okay, we'll move down to the second proclamation recognizing Vitiligo Awareness Month. Unfortunately, I received a message this morning that the representative was not going to be able to make it here to tonight's meeting to receive the proclamation. However, arrangements have been made for her to pick it up at a later date. I will go ahead and read it for the record, for the public record purpose. Whereas vitiligo is a non-contagious autoimmune disorder causing loss of pigment from areas of the skin and resulting in irregular white spots or patches on a person with the disorder. This disorder affects more than 3 to 5 million Americans and can affect people of any age, gender, race, or ethnicity. And doctors and scientists have several theories about its origins, including hereditary, a disorder of the autoimmune system, or a result of a single event such as a sunburn, exposure to a chemical, or emotional distress. While vitiligo is usually not physically painful, it appears to be more common in individuals who have a family history of the disorder or certain other autoimmune disorders such as rheumatoid arthritis, psoriasis, or thyroid disorder. Southern Connections Vitiligo Support Group of South Carolina, founded in 2011, is raising public awareness to this disorder, and there is continued research which can help increase the understanding of this disorder, improve therapies, and provide preventative measures for individuals affected by this disorder. Now, therefore, be it proclaimed that Chairman Clarence Gilbert, District 7, and the members of the Fairfield County Council declares the month of June 2026 to be Vitiligo Awareness Month in Fairfield County. Be it further proclaimed that Fairfield County also acknowledges that World Vitiligo Day is observed on June 25th, 2026, so ordered this 8th day of June 2026.
Thank you. Now we're down to public comment session. Dr. Roberts, do we have anyone signed out?
Yes, sir, Mr. Chair. Karen Daughtery.
My name's Karen Daugherty. I'm up in the Lebanon area, off Old Douglas Road. I'm coming to you as a concerned citizen of Fairfield County. I recently watched the budget hearing that just took place this past week from the clerk of court. And she had recommended that we receive asked funding for a vault door of $34,000 for a glass vault door. I'm passing around pictures of the current vault door of the county deeds office, the records office, that has been walled into the existing wall. When the construction project came about like 2 years ago, this vault door, a perfectly good operating door. The only problem with the door was the lock had been drilled out because the combination was forgotten or lost. So the clerk of court is asking for the $34,000 for a glass door. To me, as a citizen of Fairfield County, I'm very concerned about this amount of money. I am asking the council to look at, and I'm not sure how this goes about, but look at having that wall removed, the door reopened, and the sheetrock and the studs put back. If you can look at the one side of that door on the inside, there is only one set of outlets. There might be some other wiring, but there's one set of outlets. So if we have a county carpenter that can do this project for a fraction of the cost of building a new wall, framing it in, readdressing the window that was there, the woodwork and everything, that would be the ideal way to get this problem solved. Currently, right now, our records are not being protected from fire, water, or smoke. At any time there's a problem in that courthouse, our records are unprotected. In addition to that, if you look outside in the moat, there is water that is collecting constantly. It is not draining away. So you have water going against the concrete walls. Somehow or other, we need to get this vault safeguarded. Yes, she is asking for funding for digitizing our records, which is a great thing. It should happen. It's something I wish you guys would consider. It is an expensive cost. Some of the records down there are already digitized, but not all of them. So, as the council, please consider finding a way to get funding to have this wall torn down by somebody that we already contract with, our own employees, to get this wall rebuilt to the manner it has, and then get a locksmith in to have the lock reworked. So, any questions? Some of you guys have already been there, and those of you who have not been there, please go down and visit. I'm appalled at the fact that this was let to go through during the course of the renovation work, and it was not stopped at that point. Thank you.
No one else signed up to speak, Mr. Chair.
Okay, thank you. Now we're down to public hearing, none. And next is ordinance, resolution, and orders. First reading by title only, ordinance number 855. Dr. Roberts, if you would.
Yes, sir. An ordinance to consider the request to amend the Fairfield County Land Management Ordinance Number 599 and the related zoning map to provide for the rezoning classification from R1, Single Family Residential District, to RD1, Rural Residential District, to allow for farming operations tax map number 120-00-01-035-000, located at 2826 State Highway 215, Blair, South Carolina, owned by Double P Holdings, LLC. Note, the Fairfield County Planning Commission approved this rezone request.
Okay, this is title only, so there's no comment on this. Or may I get a motion?
So moved.
Motion and second. If there are no questions, this title only, are you prepared to vote? All in favor? Let the record show 6-0. Second reading, ordinance number 854. Dr. Roberts.
An ordinance to establish operating and capital budgets for the operation of the county government of Fairfield County for the fiscal year commencing July 1, 2026, to provide for the levy of taxes for Fairfield County for the fiscal year commencing July 1, 2026, to establish fees and service charges for the Fairfield County for the fiscal year commencing July 1, 2026, to provide for the expenditure of tax revenues and other county-related funds, and to provide for certain fiscal matters and other matters related to county government.
Moved.
The motion is second that we adopt ordinance 854. There's no question. Are you prepared to vote? All in favor? Oh, I'm sorry, I apologize.
Mr. Chairman, I can do a presentation if you want, or
Okay.
we do have a work session on Thursday as well. So what is your preference?
You, for public, you can go ahead.
Okay, all right. All right. Then, tonight, member council, I just kind of want to walk through with you and the public again, what is in this budget. You know, and make sure this works. Okay. And so we get to, you know, the most important thing, first of all, this is a balanced budget, and this budget focuses on public safety, infrastructure, workforce, fiscal stewardship, and our strategic plan implementation. So as we just finished up with the strategic plan, it's important that this budget start implementing some of the outcomes that are expected from that. So, you know, a vision of a shared prosperity and economic resilience, and priorities, again, infrastructure, business growth, attraction, housing, public services, and safety. So, first is revenue. General fund revenue is $43.77 million. What that includes is major investments, again, in public safety, public works, facilities, technologies, and community services. This budget reflects a workforce in the county of approximately a little over 300 employees, 193 in public safety, 59 in public works, 51 in public services, and elected officials outside agencies, 10 people. This is a decrease in positions across the county of about 5 from last year. One of the things we're trying to do is tighten up in departments that may have more positions than are needed, and better utilize either the workforce or the funding for the workforce for them. So as we get into it, public safety, which is Sheriff's Office, Detention Center, EMS, Fire, Emergency Management, Animal Services, and Public Works, roads, solid waste, facilities, the shop, the transit, and the airport. These are the main parts of the county budget, those two operational areas. But we also provide allocations in this budget of $893,661. They're broken down as the recommendations currently in front of the county council of those entities. This is, again, a status quo from the previous year. So they do support the health care, the behavioral health, the education, the public safety, housing assistance, senior services, and community partners that serve the citizens of Fairfield County. The capital improvement program is a significant change from previous years. As you recall, last year we put in a millage of 8 mills, and the total capital requests this year are $1.9 million. Most of that comes from the money from the 8 mills and leftover money from this year's budget for 8 mills as well. There's carry forward. $1.5 million goes to public safety, significantly fire truck and an ambulance, as well as vehicles, facilities and infrastructure, $226,000, recreation, $77,000, animal services, $38,000, and economic development, $15,000. When we look into the public safety capital improvements, again, we see a fire engine and ambulance alone are approximately $1 million, a generator for the jail, $150,000, and other items, body cameras, range improvements, and cameras throughout the county. Maintaining our facilities is one of the key things that we need to do a better job of. And so you'll see in this budget that we work on the roof at the airport, of which we're working to secure a grant to offset most of that. The parking lot and the magistrate's lot that we began this current year, and this will give us the remaining funds we need for that. HVAC repairs across the county. Our HVAC systems are in significant disrepair. We just had an issue today at the courthouse as well from HVAC issues there. Recreation improvements, animal shelter improvements, and then the signage at the Peach Road Industrial Complex. So when you look to how this fits in with our strategic plan, infrastructure that we invest in facilities and roads, business growth, economic development projects, housing, community development, public safety, or emergency response investments. So back to that strategic plan again, The priorities in action were public safety, infrastructure, economic growth, technology, and fiscal stewardship. So all those are included in the budget that you have in front of you today. With that, if there are any questions, I'll be glad to take them.
Any question, Councilman? Okay. Okay, we have a motion. If there are no other questions, you prepared to vote? All in favor? Opposers? Let the record show 6-0. Board and commission minutes, none. Board and commission appointments, Planning Commission, Ms. Ashley Mills.
She's representing District 5. I make a motion to appoint Ms. Mills to the Planning Commission.
Is there a second? Okay, motion and second. There are no questions, all in favor? Okay, the record shows 6-0. Old business, none. New business, none. Now we're down to County Administrator Report. Mr. Carpenter?
Yes, Mr. Chairman, we have several items I wish to brief the council and our citizens on. The first one is just an update on where we are with our animal shelter staff and training and moving to the volunteer program. I'll turn that over to Mr. Burrows.
Good evening, Chair, members of council. Our first orientation with our volunteers will be this Saturday from 10 to 12. You are invited to come if you'd like. There will be shelter staff there as well as myself. Inmate training will take place as well with the detention center. Ms. Spires will be coming over to conduct that in the beginning. After that, we will go through our syllabus that we have here for the employees and the volunteers that are going to be there for the orientation. We'll go through that, and then we'll also have a handler that's coming in from Fur Life Boarding and Training LLC to work with them as well on handling techniques, how to properly handle the dog on the leash, how to dog test, things of that nature. That will be happening this Saturday from 10 to 12. And then we've also secured the POs for the camera systems, for the drains for the kennels, for the external drains as well, and the plumbing that will be, the upgrades that will be happening there at the site. We're still waiting on the approval for the electrical work to happen there. So those are things that are happening now and here in the near future at the animal shelter. Any questions?
What is the approval for the electrical work? Who has to approve what?
We had a quote that backed out, so we're having to get another quote. Okay. So at the last minute, we were submitting for the PO, and they backed out.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. And happened to be the lowest quote.
Any other questions on that? Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Mr. Chairman, members of council, next item is the 208 plan update. As you may recall, the 208 plan was the critical roadblock in front of the sewer plant for the Joint Water and Sewer Commission. It had been delayed by DES actions for a year and a half. We did finally, a little over a week ago, get approval of the 208 plan. There's an EPAC, which is the Environmental Advisory Committee to the COG, that was held on Wednesday, May the 20th, and the call to action for them was, first of all, to create the service area that allowed the Sewer Commission to provide service, and then to create the loading requests that would go into the river for the discharge. The main discussion at that point went around, which included the goal of modeling certain of the dischargers in the future while allocating how many pounds that we needed of that particular item in it so that there wouldn't be any impacts to other dischargers. And that was really the issue all along, was when the people didn't want us to discharge, it's that they didn't want to be affected their own ability to discharge what they already were up and running. So we were able to work out with DES. It actually ended up being a very significant, because DES had been telegraphing that they were going to be hard on us, but as we got with them and went through it, and we met with Ms. Myra Reese, who's the head of DES, and after that meeting, they reversed course totally, and they supported what we were proposing to do, which would have the impact that we needed without having any impact on the other dischargers. So it didn't hurt them, and it helped us. So the EPAC voted unanimously at that point at the COG meeting, which was the next week, May 25th. then those items are unanimously approved by the board, and they will then provide DES with the 208 plan amendments. Once we have the permit from DES, then we can go full speed ahead. We've already started moving into the 10% stage of design for the wastewater plant. That's the critical first step on design, is getting to 10%. We're going and looking now at various plants to completely determine the best type of plant we need to build for ourselves, for the operational ability as well as the future for this county. And we're doing that. In fact, on Wednesday, there's a group going down to look at another plant, the Low Country, that may use technology that we're going to look at as well. So we're moving full speed ahead with that. All this is also, as always, it is with the dashboard for the Joint Water Sewer Commission online, and we keep that dashboard curated and up to date. So you can always check on that and see where we are with that. Are there any questions about that?
Any questions, council?
Then there is an action item that I'm requesting of the council, you had in your notes information about requested changes to our purchasing card program. Basically, currently, the county had 2 credit cards to its name with very low limits that could be used. And everybody had to check out a credit card, and nowadays more and more things require a credit card. They don't want to wait long enough to get a check. So we were constantly running around borrowing credit cards from this person and that person, and then we were hitting our threshold and we were being denied. And anything that requires a quick fix anymore, you got to go to Lowe's, you got to go to the plumbing and hardware store, you got to pick up stuff. The shop needs to get stuff for vehicles out of the parts store, and you just couldn't wait a week to 10 days to get checks cut. So what we're requesting is that basically the proposed revisions include increasing the county's total monthly credit limit from $25,000 to $50,000. $25,000, there's no way a county our size can operate because not every month we would need that. Most months we'd never need it. But when you need one big thing that comes up, you've got to have that ability on that card to do it. And I can look back to the shop and vehicles and getting them fixed, how much money it can cost and how quickly that credit limit gets hit. And then also that we would allow more credit cards in departments that justified having them. And so that would generally go from $2,500 to $5,000 on an individual card. So no card would have $50,000. They would be $25,000 to $5,000 based on the department itself. All this would be oversight by, first of all, it would be approved internally in the department. Finance would have a person review it. Purchasing would review it, and then I would have to sign off on anything over a certain amount. So we're very comfortable that the efficiency of it would be good and that it would be a well-managed program. So we come to you today and request your approval in allowing us to change these limits. And I'll ask any questions you may have.
How many credit cards are we talking about?
We are talking 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It looks like about 7 total in the county.
Including the 2?
Yes.
Or 9?
Yes. Yes, sir.
And before purchases are made, usually it's for you to make sure that it's regulated.
Finance has to check to make sure that the money's available in their budget as always. So they can't spend money if it's not in their budget currently. Then procurement would check to make sure they're authorized and where they are with that card limit as well. And then finance, after they've done theirs, purchasing done theirs, and administration would also be part of that.
Anyone else have any questions? Can we get a motion in? Mr. Second? The motion is second that we approve the purchase of the cards. No questions? All in favor? Opposes?
No.
Let the record show 5-1.
And then the final item is just an
May I
update.
ask, I'm sorry, Mr. Carpenter, is there, and I think anytime someone talks about credit cards going out to, more people, raises antenna, Is there some way we can see what's the result of this, after, like every month or every quarter, where we are on these cards?
Absolutely. I mean, we'll keep track of all that, and we can just have that report for you. It would probably be on the county's website as well, just under our purchasing stuff. So, Ms. Deaver,
I think they left.
she can bet.
Oh, no, she didn't leave, okay.
Good evening, Chairman and members of Council, County Council. So yes, the credit card program will include audits. That's part of the control. The controls will be to administer monthly as well as random audits for those card holders to ensure compliance with the program. Any other questions?
Thank you, ma'am.
And then the last item is just an update on the penny sales tax. As council knows, some months back, we started discussion of conducting a penny sales tax referendum in the fall. As time went on, it became apparent that there was not a significant amount of appetite in the county based on the current budget that we're operating under with reassessment, as well as with a millage increase last year. The community was just not showing their level of interest at this point. So the recommendation is that we defer it for 1 year for the capital project sales tax.
Any questions on that? Any questions for the administrator? Thank you. Now we're down for clerk of council. None. Council time. Any council person like to say something?
I would. I just want to be transparent with council. In the planning commission, Ms. Mills, on her application, it had it, she stayed in District 5, but she actually lives in Ms. Swearingen's district. So Ms. Roberts is going to check on that, but just wanted to make council aware, because I usually like to make sure that the district you represent is the district that's supposed to be. But just want to make y'all aware.
Okay.
And to put on the record, I don't have any problem with Ms. Mills. I just want to make sure that we understand what district she's representing.
I know, she's very good.
Yeah.
Mr. Gobart.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Carpenter, the courthouse vault was brought up again, and I know some probably months ago, this issue came up, and I think there was some work done to find a cost estimate for getting that door actually, I guess, unstuck from the wall and getting it, got a new lock on there. Can you give us an update on that, please?
Yes, Mr. Goldbach, we did get an estimate from the people who built the courthouse, or who doing, no, not who built the courthouse, but who were renovating it, to restore the vault door to operation and remodel the service desk to allow the door to have the full swing. And that was approximately $35,000 for that. There'd still be issues if the county staff did in as far as warranties and things like that, if we go in and start changing things. So as long as we've got that aspect, that's one of the things that we need to keep in front of us. The conversation about glass was kind of new, so we don't have anything prepared for that. So we're working on figuring out that as well, to the appointment. Again, just, I guess, a reminder, the clerk of court legally is the entity who makes decisions on that building. And so neither the county council nor myself can make a decision. We can just choose to recommend a decision and then to fund a decision. But as far as making the decision happen, that's constitutionally not something in our purview. So we kind of have to work with the clerk and her staff.
Understand. Did that $35,000 quote include the new lock for the door?
I'll have to get back to you. I believe it because it says remodel this. Okay. I'll get that for you. Yes, sir.
Oh, I'm sorry. I did have one other thing, Mr. Chairman. Positive thing here. On Sunday night of Memorial Day weekend, I got a call from a constituent, and there was somebody who had pitched a tent in in an area across the street from this neighborhood. And a lot of neighbors were all up in arms about this because they didn't know who the individual was. It's not something they'd seen before. And so they called me. I called the sheriff's office, and they went out and found the individual, and it turns out the individual had served time in the past from breaking into homes. So it goes back, if you see something, say something, that kind of thing. But I do want to recognize 3 individuals who helped me that night and then the next day. The next day, they went back and they had a couple deputies come and remove that individual and his belongings, took him to a more secure location. So it was, and the neighbors were just super, super happy about the whole thing. So I want to recognize Brad Douglas, who I called Sunday night, and he took it from there, Lieutenant Jonathan Harris, and Lieutenant Trevor Duncan. So thank you, guys, and I really appreciate what y'all did.
I have a question. Okay, so I'm not real smart about this stuff, but what kind of, you talking about that wall and whoever did it, you needing a, what did you call it? I mean, like if we got somebody else to just fix the wall, what, I mean, a wall is a wall, yeah?
It is, I would just have to check to see, there generally are going to be warranties on the work done by GMK, so just making sure that that wouldn't void a warranty on other work they've done. So,
Just putting up a wall is a warranty?
well, the whole building is under a bond, so unfortunately, you know, that's, it's better safe than sorry to just make sure that that's not going to void a warranty if we go in and do it ourselves. So that's all
But
I'm
can we
saying.
do it ourselves?
Well, I had not looked into it until I just heard that you wanted something different than we've been talking about for a while. So we're having to figure what that would be if we do that. Or, again, we can't just go in and do it without her approval. That's kind of the constitutional challenge we run into is it's not our building. This building, we could do something to. We can't do something to a courthouse.
But if we don't fund the $34,000, then she can't do it, right?
That's correct. That's good. Unless she
just
finds it
saying.
within her own budget, and then she can spend her own budget that you've already allocated. But if she's seeking extra, then we would have to approve that. Yes, ma'am.
$34,000 to move a wall? I'd do it for $34,000. I mean,
ma'am.
$3,400, excuse me, and I
Yes,
don't know
ma'am.
what I'm doing. Okay, all right.
Well, that would definitely void the warranty.
Okay. Anyone else? Okay, there's one thing I want to announce. Originally, it had been announced that we were going to have a public hearing on the budget tonight, but that will be moved until, it will be moved to the next meeting for the public hearing on the budget. Okay, now we're down to executive session. We have a item on there, but we will not have executive session due to the fact of a circumstance. That would also be moved to the next meeting. Okay, get a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Motion second that we adjourn. There's no questions, all prepared. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Let the record show 6-0. We are now adjourned.